Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking about bugs in Title Update 31. Every single update has its bugs. Some of these are pretty small, like when you open the door, it makes a noise. When you close it, it doesn't. Spooky. Or when you pull out a map, you have Steve arms, even if you're a cat like I am right now. Or even stuff like the, PS3 not having an armor stand texture for some reason. These are all bizarre bugs, and they're kind of funny to know about, but they're actually sometimes much bigger bugs, and TU31 has a couple of these that are really interesting because they tell us new things about the game, and I thought it'd be cool to show them to you before they're fixed in TU32. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Please do like it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you like these sorts of videos. And yeah, just a quick heads up before I do anything in this video, please only test this on a creative world. Don't go on your friend's world or anything like that. That's kind of, one, it's being a bad friend, and two, you can cause some permanent damage and stuff. Or, in this case, I guess it's only duplicating, but still, that's that. So, let's talk about the first one, which is one you've probably seen, because a lot of people were experimenting with slime blocks and pistons, making stuff like the planes that I showed off, making stuff, just, making fun stuff now that this is something we can do. And as a result of all the people doing that, one of the interesting side effects is stuff like, for instance, this happening. So what actually happens is, because it seems like it's a weird console exclusive way that they render items to make redstone work, it seems like there's been a slight glitch in that, and it shows us that when a block exists, it actually seems to temporarily exist in two states, and the glitch, it kind of like quantum physics, but not really. But yeah, kind of in the same way, it means that it actually duplicates when this happens sometimes. So let me just show you what I mean there. So if we turn this on right now, so we put, this is a basic flying machine, right? Like it pushes forwards, pushes backwards, and if we just quickly turn this on, then what actually happens, once we remove this obviously, what actually happens as it moves along is every now and then you can see that while it's like darkened, it seems to be existing in more than one place, and every now and then what happens is it glitches, like it goes back a second, and it goes back to being in one place as well as being in another. And this is a really interesting thing, because it seems to happen, like I thought it would be like every single chunk or so, but you can see it happens at random to some extent, and it happens even more when you're looking at it, which makes me think that it really is something to do with what you're looking at, not, what you, like, not, it's what you're looking at, not necessarily what's happening on screen. And that's really interesting. It's something, it might be a really piece of clever console code to make this whole thing work, but it seems like it's not working right now, and the fact that we know about this is really, really cool. Also, you can see it looks like right now it's happening every single chunk, if I'm right. Yeah, this is every single chunk almost exactly. But if we look away from it, it stops happening, and it's a very, very bizarre thing. So yeah, I don't want to look over that. It'll keep going to the edge of the world, and it won't actually proper, but it'll leave behind a lot of redstone blocks, which is just a weird thing, because if you want to have a flying machine, you don't want to, bug up the path, but at the same time, it's technically duplicating too, so it's not good on any of those fronts. So yeah, here you can see this time, while I wasn't looking at it, it happened differently. Like, it seemed to be the exact same pattern each time, but then while I'm not looking, it does something different, and then it does that, and it's basically very, very bizarre. It happens, the way it works seems to be based on what you're looking at, and that's a bug I haven't really seen before. It's one of these hard to explain ones that I think is really cool. So if you want to do it, basically a lot of flying machines, if you activate them redstone blocks, will just do this like this. The one I showed you is probably the best example, because it just does it over and over again. And yeah, that's that right there. So let's move on to the next one, the second one. This is one that I think is really cool, because it lets us see the void for the first time in quite some time, or the console void, because we haven't had the void in quite some time. So basically, the activator for this is one that's kind of hard to get, exactly down, but for the most part, if you activate multiple pieces of TNT anywhere in your world, I know it happens a lot better near the edge of the world. What actually happens is, once they detonate all at the same time, they'll blow up your chunk, but they won't just blow up your chunk and do this bizarre thing right here. So let's give this another try, shall we? Well, they won't just blow up one chunk, like you saw just there. They'll actually start blowing up the edge of the world. So let's do this again. Try and get close to the edge of the world. What happens is, once the TNT does its whole thing, it kind of glitches out. Some of it goes past the world, and for some reason, what you can actually see happening here is it destroys the world over and over again. And this is wacky right here, right? We can see the void, or we can see the blue void, and that's kind of cool. But if we, if we look further down, if you look beyond the section you started, or anywhere in your in distance at the time, you can actually see it glitches over and over and over again, and it loops, and it makes this just weird hole. And you can obviously make the hole bigger or smaller based on the TNT explosion, and I just think that's so bizarrely cool. Like, this is the first time we've been able to see how the edge of the world generates, because we've always known that isn't real blocks there, right? Like, that's just simulated there to make us think there's something, and now we can actually see that what it actually does is it takes one chunk, one chunk of imaginary blocks. You can see if we throw like an ender pearl through there, then it won't go through, so let's just quickly prove there's nothing there. If you find ender pearl, as you can see, they fly through, but you can eventually see them down there. So they're invisible blocks. They're just kind of, they're not invisible. They're the opposite. Like, they're, they're visible blocks that, don't actually exist. And now, because of this, we can actually see it duplicates the same things over and over again. So if you have the ability to somehow change the outside, which you can sometimes do using, some magic piston logic, then what you can actually do is you can glitch all of the blocks, and in this case, you end up with a field of just destroyed chunks. So yeah, like I said, if you do this exact same thing over and over again, and you get lucky and you get them fly out, then you can do some pretty cool stuff like this thing. And I think this is cool because it gives us the new information on, kind of like how the other ones, like, it seems like redstone acts differently when you're looking at it on console. In this case, we can see that the duplicate thing, but also it means that for the first time, we can properly see kind of like outside of the world. I mean, you can't actually get down there because obviously the way ender pearls work. But what you can do is you can see that apparently the void doesn't exist anymore. It is just a big blue thing under there. And at the very least, you can see it doesn't change because I'm seeing slightly under the world there. It doesn't seem to change. So that's a cool, interesting piece of information. I really like this glitch, but please don't do it in your friend's world because I think it's one of these things that will permanently break it. I know saying that's going to tempt someone, but if you're a good friend, you probably wouldn't do it. So yeah, pro tip right there. Let's just set off once more. The method that seems to work most of the time is just 5 TNT, but I've heard reports of it happening with even, we need to get another redstone block out. I've heard reports of it happening with even less TNT than that, so, stay safe when using lots of TNT if you don't want to ruin the edge of the world. So let's just throw TNT everywhere there. And let's try and blow up some more. So you can see it's going to actually do the same thing, and it's going to duplicate itself over along the thing there, which is interesting, because over here you can then see that some of it's the old block and some of it's the new block. Isn't that just wacky? Isn't that just wacky? Also, there seems to be like this hardened wall here that isn't being affected at all. I'd love to play around with this some more, and I'll let you know if I have any more findings over Twitter and stuff. But for now, that is the end of today's video. They're the two really cool glitches I wanted to show you. I'd very much appreciate a like on the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets me know you do like it. Share the video if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. So, yeah, this is... I really want to play around with this, and like I said, I will. If you follow @IBXToyCat, I'll tweet out any craziness I get from it, because this is cool. The ability to do this is cool, and it's something I kind of want to try out somewhere. So, yeah, do that stuff, and I'll let me know in the comments down below what you think, might be able to be done with this, and oh, look over there, you can see there's just nothing there. But yeah, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day, everybody, and goodbye.